And boom! Alrighty, we are live on Tuesday Live. Who's excited? I am really excited today about this class. Who could have been the better person to share this class? Yes, I am excited, and it is 5 ways to raise a confident child. Are you even ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Somebody said, "Well, that coach have stopped saying alrighty." No, 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 I still stay alrighty. So that there was a mimic where a 5-year-old, right, mimicked me. Was it 5 or 4? And say, who says all right? I say, it's Coach Wendy. I still have that video. Such a heartwarming video. Thank you so much. The others, are you here? Please confirm. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? What can you see? And if you can see and hear me, confirm in the comment section so that we roll. I can see others in the front seat. Congratulations to all of you guys. You guys know how to learn. You love to learn. I love it. I love it. And I love it again. All righty. We have oh, okay. Victoria was the first person who joined live. Congratulations to you. I'm sure the team will have a gift for you. Reach out to them. Yes. In TIP, we love the promptness, the 2 o'clock. They be here on time team. Raising a confident child. And I'm going to say to you today that confidence is bigger than competence. I'm going to say that again. Confidence is bigger than competence. Very many of the times we're very focused on raising children who are competent. And then we erode their confidence in the process of raising a competent child. And at the end of the day, we end up with a child who is so competent, yet cannot really express their competence because they are not confident. This class today, are you ready for me at all? Are you really ready? The other say coach is wearing red. Forget the red. Let's move. Now, most of us who actually grew up in the times that we grew up, I don't know about you, I was raised in the 80s and the early 90s. And most of us, you find out that we have a problem expressing the things we know. And the moment you see someone who can, one of the things that rubs off to you is she's overdoing it. She's just too much. What is it? Turn it down. We tell people to shine, to reduce their light so that we can actually, see according to us. Hey, mom, my mom is here. Hello, mom. How are you doing? All right. So that is a very major, Dr. Happiness is second. That is a very major thing. I see you, Coach MB, in the process of the things that we do. So while you are at it, to say to yourself that you turned out okay, that you are okay, that everything, oh no, our parents thought of this, we know many things, children of these days don't. Remember that if you're not confident enough to express what you know, is blabberdash. How do you begin to raise a child who is confident when you yourself are struggling with being confident? Most of us are not. So I tell the parents in the inner circle, until you become, your children will not be able to become. So the becoming of your child is very much directly proportional to your own becoming. The question will be, who are you becoming? That's the question. Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? If you are not becoming, you risk the chance of your child becoming a better person. So you can either be an advantage to your child or be a disadvantage. Remember, who a child becomes is a product of who raised them, where they were raised, how they were raised, and what the person who raised them know. Your confidence or your inability to be confident will rub off on your child either ways. So the first place to start with is you. And which takes me to my favorite quote of all times. Parenting is about you. So before you say, I want to build a confident child, I want to raise that child who is very confident, ask yourself, how confident are you? Recently, I was teaching the parents in the inner circle and I was talking about the extras. Most of us are actually rubbed off with people's extras because we were not raised to be confident with our extras. So, I shared a story and I said in that story today, this morning, and I said, one of the things that actually built me was my parents allowing me to be comfortable in my extras. And like I often say, it is not your ordinary that makes you extra. It is your extra. The extra makes you extraordinary. What are those extras that you have played on? What are those extras that erupts you off? So many people meet me, right? And then one of the things that you hear is, you're just too confident. Some people call it pride. Some people say, your own is just too much. Some people say, why do you know? You talk like so confidently. Is a skill. I'm here to announce to you today that if you do not have parents who have raised you to believe so much in yourself, no matter how competent you are, you will not succeed. Because the world is for the bold and the loud, not for the silent and the competent. You heard me right. So you can be competent, silent, and you will fail at it. The moment you understand these words, it changes your ideology about who you're raising and who you are parenting. Someone said that your coach, they too do. I get it. Dr. Happiness is working. Somebody came to me one time and said to me, I said, when I met you at first, I just didn't like you. I just felt that you bragged a lot. Like, now. I had a good laugh. And I said, if I don't brag, who is going to brag for me? Think about it. I am the bragger of me. The bragger of myself by myself to myself. Why do I need to wait for someone to brag about me first? I am the one that will make you know me, brag me. So I learned it as a lesson. Number one thing that I learned growing up, right, is the ability to encourage autonomy and independence. Somebody said this is my first time live. That's amazing. So yes, you are meeting the very bold, loud, confident coach, parent coach, the number one in Africa. So if I don't say it, how will you know it? Think about it now. All right. Encourage autonomy and independence. One of the things I see that we do to our children is that we put it down. Their independence it's hit back to back. So you must know where to draw the line, how to help your child. So my parents would say, be confident, be able to express yourself, but you must do it respectfully. So I grew up being offered choices. I grew up being able to actually look at my dad and say to him, I'm sure he's listening to me, and say to him, no, this is not going to work. So independence is not just allowing your child to do what they want to do, because that's the misinterpretation we give. Independence is allowing your child think for themselves. And I tell you a story. I didn't finish telling that story, in my time when I was announcing the class. I was bullied. Someone tried to bully me. I think in secondary school when I just entered. I was young, just gone to school. And I came to my father, who was a principal of another school. So imagine that you were actually hoping that this guy is going to come to your rescue now. It's a school now. They all know themselves. My father said to me, the world is not a bowl of potatoes. You're going to be bullied all your life. All your life. So imagine me today. I get bullied every day. Do you know about it? Yeah, I do. Every single day. There's someone somewhere Who's trying to drag me? Who's trying to bully me? Who's trying to shut me up? Who's trying to tell me, no, 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 tone down your lights? There's always somebody. So imagine that what my father did was to rescue me. And at that time, I felt to myself, I said to myself, you know what? I have Abraham as a father now. They should come and rescue me. My father said, no, your problems yourself. You must learn how to stand up for yourself. When I was writing the book, which is one of my favorite books that I've written, The Independent Thinking Child, one of the things that I said to parents in this book, raise a child who can speak for themselves, who can think without you. That will be the greatest gift you will ever offer any child. The greatest. Oh yes, Dr. Happiness. Even yesterday I was bullied on my timeline. So you come out and you say something, people come and tell you, no, that's not what you're saying. You're stupid, you're hopeless. So imagine your child as an adult. Do you know that most of you are not able to actually speak up just because of what people will say? You are afraid of people's responses. You are afraid of what people are going to say. You are afraid of how people are going to receive your message. So you never actually speak up. You are dealing with confidence issues. Newsflash. You are dealing with, no, I don't like saying anything. I don't really like dragging with people. I don't really like, I like my peace and all of that. Do I love my peace? Yes. For those of them who cross the boundaries, I just remove you quietly. I don't need to drag with anybody. But it's going to stop me from speaking my light. No. So I can't be bullied. But I had to learn as a child. A parent who raised me taught me not to succumb to bullying. So while it's okay for you to run into schools and go and slap a teacher and go and fight your child's friends, and you're fighting for your child, but it's okay to speak up for your child, though. I'm not stopping anybody. Remember, you are not going to be there forever to speak for your child. By the time your child is an adult, who will speak for them? And most of us, as we actually speak, we're still looking for who is going to speak for us, unfortunately. So even as adults, you're going to be bullied. So my father told me, even at work, I get bullied. So is bullying right? No. But the problem is, are we really raising our children to be able to stand up for themselves? Our son, we're having a conversation about bullying, and we're talking about people who were bullying people in school and all of that. He's prefect, he's a junior, even though. And then somebody goes, you can't bully Ayo. There's no how. How do you bully someone who understands how to respond to you? So there's a how, there's a skill, there's a ability your child needs for your child to actually be able to really stand up to police. Number one, one of the things that will actually help you to raise a child who is not going to be bullied is that you are not the bully yourself. Are you a bully parent? Are you a bully parent? That's the question I want to ask you today. Are you that parent who does not allow the opinion of your children to sit? When your children tell you no, there's something in your body that actually reacts. If you react to people saying no to you, there's something wrong with your confidence. Yes. Whether it's your child or another person. Someone says no to you, you're like, hey, why will you tell me no? And the same way, you cannot say no to people. So that's why you are everywhere. You want to do everything. You want to do every event. You take every responsibility in church. Because you were bullied through your life. A child who is bullied at home will be bullied anywhere else. The first place to learn confidence is in the home. Yep. The first place to learn confidence is in the home. So one of the things that happen in the home is that when you're a bully parent, that is, you either raise the bully or you raise the bullied. the bully and the bullied. So are you raising a bully or are you raising the bullied? Let's say that again. Are you raising the bully or are you raising the bullied? So two extremes, that doesn't pay a child. The child turns out to become aggressive because they need to defend themselves. So they are constantly bullying people. Or the child turns out to just recoil so that they don't just have to keep explaining themselves. Then they become people's pleasers. Do a statistics. We have majority of us as people's pleasers instead of people who actually live their life in fulfillment. We live our lives to please people. That's why somebody comes and says that Chevy is 100,000. You don't have 100,000. You borrow money to buy it. How does that make sense? According to you, you say, no, we need to actually preserve the relationship. That's why you stay in a relationship. You're being bullied, you're being insulted, you're being there. You can see the lines. You can't walk away because you're a tree. Yeah. You're a tree. You don't know how to walk away. It's important for you to understand that if your child cannot be confident in your home, you're going to raise a child who is not going to be able to actually achieve that. So you must encourage autonomy and independence. Independence of thought. Allow your children to take risk. Allow your children to take risk. Allow your children to take risk. Stop shutting them down. Stop telling your children, oh, you can't make decisions. You're 5-year-old, you're choosing clothes for them to go to school, to go to church. What are you doing? You're raising a child who will actually sit in places where choices are going to be made for them forever. There is a skill. Allow them to take what? And so what? They choose a cloth that is not fine according to you, and so what? And then what? Some people will say, no, my children don't really understand what they should wear. They will be cold and all of that. Is that not why you're there as a guide? So you need to encourage them to do new things, learn new skills, participate in sport, express themselves creatively. Some of you want your home speak and span. How do you want to raise a child who is confident? There is no confidence without a child being competent. So you raise competence, then you begin to actually now raise the confidence of that child. But the problem is that we are killing confidence and we want our children to be competent. Now, what is happening is that our children know they know how, but they can't express it because it's suppressed. It's suppressed. So it is very important that you understand that, the first place, I'm going to yell at my children. Who are you to tell me what to do to my children? Who are you to tell you? We raise a child who is like you, who becomes a people's pleaser. Any small thing you back down. I don't like, maybe they will. You are even afraid to make mistakes. So you must provide opportunity for your children to make mistakes. That's number 2. Provide opportunities for them for mastery. How do you actually get to the point of mastery? How? You only get to the point of mastery when you make mistakes. Here I am. I'm not afraid to fail. It doesn't matter what you think. I can't even see you. I say this in the academy. I have nothing to prove to myself. I have nothing to prove to you, not even to myself. So how do I need to prove anything to you? I don't have anything to prove to me. Proving nothing. It's when you get to a point of, the level of confidence that I'm talking about. You get to a point where you are focused on your focus. You are not afraid to fail. When you fail, you pick up yourself. You pick up yourself and you run. That's the difference. The difference between you and I is not that I know everything. The difference between you and I is that even in my failure, I'm confident about it. Did you hear that? The difference between you and I is not that I know anything. I'm not all knowing. I'm not the most intelligent person in this room. But the difference is that I'm confident even in my failure. I'm confident to fail. It is okay for me to fail. There's no problem with it. So why? I just throttle. If I fail, I fail. That's the worst that can happen. So I come to this class. If it's one person that comes like, that's it, I teach and I move. I'm not, I'm not looking at you. I am actually looking at my process. I am more interested in my process than the program. Because I understand that in my process, I'm able to build confidence. And these are the things that you're taking away from your children. Your child does something, my child cannot fail. Hey, my child cannot fail. I don't want my child to fail. So that's why you go on a rescue mission. You're constantly rescuing your child. I remember one of those days, our son had come home and he had his project not submitted. He was supposed to submit it before the deadline. He didn't. And then on the day of the last day, he was in school. He got a teacher's phone. He was in primary school, primary 5 or so. He got a teacher's phone, and all of a sudden he was calling me to leave my meeting, go to the house, and then go and bring his project back to the house. Like, are you back to his school? Like, are you joking? And then he kept saying, no, mommy, if I don't bring it, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail the subject. It's actually a very major, my marks are 20 marks. Didn't you remember that for the last 2 months you were given the project? You don't remember it? He said, no, you can send a driver. I don't understand. Is he your driver? So when you get to a point where you understand that it's okay, there's nothing wrong. And I said, it's okay. Our responsibility is to pay fees. If you fail, you are going to bear the brunt of your failure. The failure is not mine. You need to get to the point where you are no longer afraid to fail, nor your child. There's a saying in the inner circle. In the inner circle, we say we don't carry anybody's shame. The shame is yours. A lot of us do all manner of things to rescue our children from shame. In quote. In quote. I was having a conversation with my children. They were expelling some children in school. And I said to them, I said, you know what will happen if you are expelled, right? They looked at me, they said, laughing. They said, Mom, the first thing is that we're going to actually walk from the school our own back home. I'm going to go to school to be, And I said, Mom, the second thing is that you're probably going to write a book about it. I said, now you are right. Now you are right. I will definitely tell the story. It is my journey. My journey of parenting have mistakes, failures, and it's part of it. So the choice is yours. No, I'm not going to marry another person's shame. So I don't share success story with you to please you. I am sharing my journey to encourage you and for you to see what is possible. So you can allow your children to provide opportunities for your children, right? For your children to actually get mastery. Mastery. Whether it's mastery of new skills, they need to try it, completing a project. But after that incident of that project, I have never in my life heard, I forgot my assignment. Why? Is it my assignment? Children are in primary 1, primary 2, you are doing assignment. The right thing is that you're not sleeping well. There's something wrong with that process. You're going to raise a child who you will scaffold for the rest of your life. And you know what you would have done to that child? You would have made a mess of the child who should be able to think for themselves, but eventually cannot. Are you feeling the fire in the room? If you are excited about this class, let me see your comment in the comment section, and let me see you. Share this link with a family and a friend. Support your children to build skills. Another opportunity to build mastery. Let them build skills. Let your children build skills. Yes, so you will work your whole of shame yourself. You buy shame, you buy it. I don't collect people's shame. And I'm very unapologetic about it. I say it again and again. My failures will be a journey chronicled, and it will help other people learn after all. Why not if not? Why not if not? So I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of what you're going to say. Oh, she said she was going to, children are doing well. Why is it? They don't do well. You hear me say it. It's not a big deal. Because I understand that that's one of the things that can build confidence. Every person who has actually been able to build confidence in their process, every single person, Every single person is someone that have passed through the understanding of mastery and competence. All right. Another thing that you want to do is that you want to foster a growth mindset. You want to foster a growth mindset. What is a growth mindset? The problem is that we are more focused on the progress than we are focused on the process. The growth mindset focuses on the process. The fixed mindset focuses on the progress. That's one of the mistakes that our parents made. Everything was about, did you come first? Did you not come first? Did you, if you're not here, how many people, did they have how many here? It was about the result. So we left what we should have gone through to actually get to a point of the result. And then we leave it out and just put it at the back seat. And then we're pushing result. Did you come first? So I have seen people who came first class materials, everything, like we say in the inner circle. For your certificate, well, nothing. There's really nothing you're doing with it, right? Sorry, give me a minute. Let me plug my phone, my laptop. All right. So, and at the end of the day, you find out that you're focused on progress. You know, that's why you yell so much. That's why you think discipline is an emergency. That's why you want now result. If you are the now, do you know one of the reasons many parents yell is because they want immediate result? You're not patient enough. You've not built your understanding of the growth mindset. So that's the thing we taught our son when he actually didn't have his project was a lesson of growth mindset. So I needed him to understand that the process of where you're going is actually more important than the progress you want to make. So it's beyond the, my child, I just want my child to be. That's why you pay for exam malpractice. And you say things like it's not possible. Who said so? In the school where my children are, it's not possible to write WAEC without stopping the teachers. What does that even mean? That's what we have gotten to. We've even killed the confidence of our children in the process of pursuing progress. So you yell so much, you think that discipline is an emergency. You say, no, I will just give my children passports. No. Don't tell me anything. I don't need to do it now. Because you don't understand process. I wrote the book, Discipline is Not an Emergency. Because I saw a lot of parents who struggle with the concept of discipline. And then when they talk to you, say, no, I must yell. It's compulsory. Nobody can tell me that you cannot raise a child without yelling. You're still doing that kind of thing in 2024. In 2024, when people have moved and left you behind. People have moved and left you behind. You're still screaming, no, they are lying. They are lying. We must parent with yelling. You don't know that your trauma is traumatizing you. That's why you are where you are. You have not even taken responsibility. That's another thing lack of confidence does to us. It tells us that you cannot become more than what it is that you are. You can't become, you can't learn. You can't become. That's the problem. So the process of your becoming has a lot, for your child becoming has a lot to do with you. So you're just everywhere. You don't tell yourself it's not possible. It's not possible. Fixed mindset. It's fixed mindset that makes us think that, oh, I turned out okay. The way they yelled at me, the way they shouted at me, oh, the way they disciplined me is the best way. So therefore, I'm okay. I do not want to do any other thing. Trauma. Most of us actually lack confidence because of the trauma we've experienced from the people who raised us. You're constantly second-guessing yourself. Would they like me? Would they not like me? Would they what I say? Will it be correct? You are always fighting when there's no fight. Fighting when there's no fight. So the process is more important than the progress. If you miss the progress, you have the process for the progress in parenting, your child will perish in the long run. If you miss the process for the progress, your child will perish in the long run. It's never immediate, but your child will perish at the end. You want to begin to ask yourself very clear questions. Am I focused on the progress or the process? That's why some of us even attend courses in parenting, and then we've done 1 month. Hey, I've not seen any change. Hey, I've not seen any change. We are focused on progress. We don't want the process. We don't want to pay the price. We don't want to pay the price, but we want the end result. So anyhow the child passes the exam, it doesn't matter. Whether the child, that's why we bring lesson teachers. We put our children under so much pressure. We let them, you must pass this exam. You're not even thinking, in the process of me doing this, am I destroying something? Is there something missing? We don't want to ask it. Provided you can brag. My child is 14 and is a graduate. It's the same lack of confidence. Why do I need another person's achievement to talk about I don't get it. The reason you're living off your children is because you are focusing. You do not have confidence yourself on actually your own ability. Why am I forcing a child to study medicine? I don't get it. What happened to me? What happened to my brain and my legs and my hands? Like, why? Why do I want to validate as such what I couldn't become in my child? Why? There's no reason for that. There is no reason for that. Begin to think about it. I want you to actually really think about this whole process, right? You need to actually demonstrate growth mindset by actually allowing your children to persevere and go through the process, not just the result. Not just the result. In the process, you pay the price. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the price? You know, the reason a lot of parents yell, beat children, and yes, if you are a child beater, you have confidence issues. You heard me right. You are not even confident in the things you can learn that can change the process. So you have a fixed mindset. So we come here, we tell you, you are going to learn how to stop yelling so that you can parent with peace and calm. You are going to learn how to stop hitting a child so that you can discipline better. You say, all those things, they lie. It doesn't work. You can't have confidence in the things that you can even try. You don't want to fail. That's why you are afraid of failure. You are afraid to fail. You are so afraid to fail that you don't want to try new things. So you will rather stay with the old than even say or try anything new. It's a confidence issue. Because you have been told so much in your life of failure. So your parents actually kept telling you, if you fail, you're a failure, fail. So it has entered your head. So anything that actually looks like failure, you don't want to go near it. What if some people even come to me and say, what if when I finish taking, taking this class now, and my children will now become sports? Some of you, when we're teaching intentional parenting, that's your fear. That's your fear. That's not any other. The only thing is, are you sure that this thing that they're teaching, my children will no longer now become, useless? That's not how they raised us. So we become responsible with all these things. My children will become useless if I don't. The reason is simple, very simple. You are afraid to fail. You are afraid to try new stuff. You lack the skill of mastery. You were not taught the opportunities of mastery. You were not. You were not. So that's one of the reasons some of you have never taken any class before. Some of you have not enrolled for any class. So it's not because of any other thing. You are so afraid. You are afraid to fail. This thing you're teaching is a lie. I'm going to fail if I try it. Failure. There's a course that we do in the inner circle. It's called failure as a skill. is when you go through the lessons of mastery skills, you understand failure as a skill. You understand that failure is okay to fail and learn the lessons through it. And learn the lessons through it. We teach our children failure as a skill. Yes, we started teaching those lessons from age 6. We were teaching them that when you fail, it's fine. What actually makes you a failure is when you do nothing with the failure. Provided the failure has lessons in it for you for improvement, then you haven't failed. You have just tried it another way and it didn't work the way it should have worked in that time. Our daughter and our son learned to cook. Started to cook when they were 6, 7. By the time they were turning 10, they were gurus in the kitchen. Some of you said, is that not, it is a lie. I remember posting one time that our daughter made a 4 re-roll, something, I can't remember, with Semo. Somebody said, it is a lie. All the people that come and just lie and just tell you all the things. What you need is 10,000 hours for mastery. That's what you need. Our son will do maths and do 99. What do you think happened? Lesson teacher? No. It's a skill. It's mastery. Mastery. Failed severally. I remember those days our daughter will bake. The thing will be burnt. And I will say, it's okay. It's fine. You have found a way not to do it again. Found a way not to do it again. The main thing is in the process. Today, she can wake up, she whips up cakes in split seconds. Like, is it cake you want? Which flavor, please? And I'm going to just whoop it. Why? We fostered a growth mindset. Provide opportunities for your children to fail is a blessing. I know that some people are listening to me now. They are saying, but the Bible said we shall not fail. We shall be the head and the tail. I'll leave it here. I will only say this part when we're talking about the webinar in the inner circle, because there's a place I will enter now. You will not understand me. You will drag me. You will still drag me. So let me leave it here. You know, some of this dragging is it's actually when people are saying some things, I see a whole lot of ignorance. So most times we actually try not to say some things, some level, so that you also don't also confuse yourself in the process of us trying to teach you. There are things that we are never going to teach outside, apart from in the academy. Call it whatever, but we know what we're saying. We will not, because it will destroy you more than it will uplift you. So our job is to uplift you. That's our job. It's not to diminish you. So we're going to leave that part, and we're going to go to the yarders who understand the hard talk. In the yard, we give hard meat. This is milk that you're receiving. And anytime that I say, yarders will understand it. If you're not a yarder, the thing pains you in a way. What does she mean? How can she tell us what it is? It's the same thing. The same thing I'm talking about today. Same process. Same thing. Same confidence issues. I'll leave it there. The next one is that, oh my goodness, hard meat with bones to crack, yes. So we are coming into the inner circle. And if you're not in the inner circle, here is your case, right? I can't help you at this point. Somebody once said, coach, what are people who cannot be there? If you want to actually learn, you will do everything to learn. Everything to learn. Come inside the app. That's the only thing I have to tell you. The next one is teach assertiveness. And if you're asking what the inner circle is about, the inner circle is a 1 year, 365 days program where you receive 365 days of hard truth. If you don't like truth, don't come. Because I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm really afraid of God. If you don't like truth, don't come. Don't bother. We'll tell you the truth in a way that it will change your life. 360 degrees. And I can assure you that. And because it's the truth, the Holy Bible says, buy the truth and sell it not. So the truth is not cheap. No, the truth is expensive. Buy it. Buy it. So there's a dimension of every teaching that is more valuable than the other. anytime, any day. Always, always. Let me not enter that part that I'm trying to enter. Teach assertiveness and social skills. So you can book a slot. You can book a slot. It's 100,000 naira per year, 170,000 naira for couple. That's if you're booking now. We don't know how much it's going to be after the conference in June. But if you book now, then you are going to be paying 100,000 naira a year. The good news is you can pay in installments. You can put it, and then do your payment as you go. And the inner circle blesses anyone in it. Anyone. It is, except you don't want to grow. In the inner circle, drag people out of the shell of who they thought they were. It is when you get to the inner circle that you realize that some of the things you stay are not okay. Last year I was teaching the skill of appreciation. It's a skill to know how to give appreciation and how to receive it. It's a skill. And I was teaching it. And that thing you say, I'm just managing my life. But when someone tells you, you're really looking nice, pop. You say, I'm not just managing my life, but you think it's the right thing. You think there's something somewhere happening in your brain that's making you actually, right? That's making you actually say that. There's something somewhere. Or somebody will tell you, this your clothes really like, I've had it since 1990 something. It's just old. Toxic humility. Toxic humility. So everywhere you are in the inner circle. Today I digged up a video of one of the High Court judge in Nigeria. She's in the inner circle. So when you ask me, I'm busy. I'm busy. The people in the inner circle are really busy. Very busy. We have doctors, we have professors, we have High Court judges, we have oil workers, we have people who live abroad, we have people who live everywhere in the world. Everywhere. It's just choices. 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 In the inner circle. We are very naked and not ashamed. Somebody like, you ask questions? Yes, we answer you questions all the time. But here, unfortunately, there's really no time to really answer your questions. In the inner circle, we talk about everything. You can imagine. It builds your mind. It builds your mind. The inner circle builds your mind. When you stay down in the inner circle, then you begin to decide, am I really living or am I existing? By the time you're done with 1 year, you ask yourself this question. I won't be the one asking you, am I really living or am I existing? Sell your wings and buy wings for your children to fly. I will rather raise designer children than buy designer wares. It is a choice. So that tomorrow you're not going to be asking me, where is it that you want to do that? How did you do it? I remember when we used to buy Legos, 100 and something thousand, as how many years ago? 10 years ago, people used to wonder that we were crazy. Today, when our children are doing math like they are on something, the people are asking, how did you do it? How did you get there? It is in the process. It's not in the progress. We understood the process. We paid the price. That's why we are here today. That's why we are here today. The last one, I said, teach assertiveness and social skills. Teach assertiveness and social skills. We do training for you, the parents. We don't do training for children. We do trainings for you. So join the No Yelling Challenge. That's where to start. All right? If you're outside of the yard, that's where to start. Teach assertiveness and social skills. When we're talking about confidence, it's about assertiveness, please, not rudeness. Rudeness is a no-no. If there is something, right? If there is something that the inner circle teaches you, it will raise honorable children and become honorable yourself. In the inner circle, we don't have crassness. Somebody says something, you throw. It's all those words you throw on social media. You will learn decorum. You will learn to be assertive without actually insulting. You will learn to actually, one of the things that makes us rude is also lack of confidence. That's why you're rude. You're rude because you can't pass your information confidently. So you want to first of all bully at the extreme. So rudeness is not assertiveness. Please note that. Rudeness is not assertiveness. Don't raise children who are rude in the name of their confidence. No, that's not it. It's not the same thing. And that's why, right, in the process, you learn honor as a skill in the inner circle. So your children can be very assertive. Our children are very assertive, but very honorable. Very honorable. So as someone will walk up to you and ask you any question, it's not going to be rude to you. Why? There is a skill. There is a skill to it. So you need to raise your children to correct self-expression, but while you are at it, you must teach your children honor. Must, not obedience. Obedience is lower knowledge. Honor is higher knowledge. See, parents who do not understand intentional parenting, who are raising, children in the way that you teach your children to obey. Parents who understand it, teach their children to honor. Kings are taught to honor. Slaves are taught to obey. Kings are taught to honor. Slaves are taught to obey. Are you raising a slave or a king? So all those don't know. My child, once I tell my child to sit down, if your child does everything you say, there's a problem. There's a thin line between raising an obedient child and raising a foolish virgin. Very thin line. I share the details in this book, Raising the Independent Thinking Child, where I was talking about raising the foolish virgin. So your child can be a virgin and be foolish. So righteousness is not a prerequisite for actually raising alone, right? So actually raising, it's not a skill. Being righteous is a being, right? You need to be. It's not a skill. Goodness is not a skill. My child is good. It's not a skill. Quietness is not a skill. My child is quiet. It's not a skill. So you need to actually raise children who are skilled. Who are skilled. So honor is actually higher knowledge. When you teach your children to honor, even though they will not obey someone who is saying something wrong, they will know how to pass their information. I actually say that the first place to teach your children to say no is to you. But does it mean your children should just rudely say to you, no, I'm not going to do it? No, there is a skill to it. There is a skill to it. There's a skill to it. The question you need to ask yourself is that, what is that skill? What is that skill? To be able to bridge the gap. Because while you're at it, you can miss the line. Very thin line. So I'm writing the book, Raising the Boy You Do Not Need to Bail Out. It's going to be one of my favorite books. And in that book, I was saying that there's a thin line between a child you're helping and a child you're bailing out. There's a very thin line, very, very thin line. So while we do some of the things that we do, and we just say, no, I'm raising children where I've seen very rude children. It's not nice. Rudeness is crassness. Don't raise rude children. Rudeness is crassness. In the inner circle, honor is the code for us. And it starts with you. It starts with you. Most of us, the way we speak to people, speak to our spouses, even speak to our children, depicts who you are. Go online, the way you even respond to people. If they lie, you are stupid. You are, come on. Serious crassness. Serious crassness. So you must understand that encouraging self-expression is not teaching your children to be rude. You must draw the line. Now, how you draw the line is where the skills come in. Time won't permit me to teach you that. But of course, if you get this book, Raising the Independent Thinking Child, it's going to help you a lot. Now, feeling respectful, help your children to encourage them to validate their emotions. But yet, again, there is a skill to it. The worst thing that can happen to you is to raise an unskilled child. The Bible said that when pertaining to Abraham, when he was actually going to rescue Lot, his nephew, when he was kidnapped, he said Abraham sent skilled men. Skilled. If you're unskilled, if you raise unskilled people, they become a burden to you first, to your whole family, and to the society at large. If you raise an unskilled child, and skill will include honor, skill will include honesty, skill will include discipline. Unfortunately, we say we are disciplining our children, but we're raising one of the most indisciplined generation ever. Yet, We're a generation that are hitting so much, slapping, yelling, because we're replicating the things we saw in the previous generation. Yet we are less disciplined. We are raising less disciplined people than our parents have raised. Have you wondered why? Have you wondered why? Because it's a skill. We're not building the skill anymore. So we are looking at progress. We don't want to do the process. Promote social connections. Encourage children to build relationship, friendship. You know, I hear some parents say, my children don't have any friends. I'm my children's friends. My children are my friends. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Ask yourself again. How does that sound? You are your child's friend. Friendship is not a relationship in parenting, it's a tool. It's a tool. So if you're using friendship as a relationship, you are going to fail in the process. Because in parenting, you were not made to be a friend. You were made to be a guide, a mentor, someone who will actually put through, not a friend. When you become a friend, you blur the line. You blur the lines. And one of the things you don't want to do in parenting is to blur the line. Is to blur the line. So all these my friends are my children are my friends. But I remember one of those days I posted something similar on social media. Everybody came. Hey, raise your children the way you do it. Do what works for you. Very evil statement, like we say in the inner circle. What does do what works for you mean? Something is obviously wrong in your process. And you're shouting, do what works for you. Do what works for you. Is everything working for you? Think about it. Or you're just stuck in the place of lack of confidence for the fear of failure so that you don't learn what you need to learn. Evil statement. It's not allowed here. Alrighty. So promote social connections. Let your children build friendship. You are not your child's friend. You should have your friends. The children should have theirs. Of course, in the inner circle, we have a course called Creating a Social Roadmap for your Gen Z. And that's where we are actually able to put a lot of things in perspective, show you what to do even if your child is there, and begin to map out. So all the fear, I don't know evil people. Evil people are somewhere. I don't want them to meet my children. I don't want them. Evil people are everywhere. Evil people will continue. You see this evil we're all talking about. Evil people will continue, right? Forever. Do you think that there's a time will come when everything will not stop, everywhere will not be perfect, life will not be okay, where we'll raise our children the way we want it? People will continue. They will always, provided there is good, there will always be bad. How do you recognize good when there's no evil? How do you recognize wisdom when there's no foolishness? For there to be wisdom, there has to be foolishness. So when I see foolishness, when I see people respond to me the way they respond, I'm excited. I'm excited because there's something I know you don't know. Foolishness is actually what makes wisdom valuable. Without foolishness, wisdom is not valuable. So what are you saying? So anytime you see foolishness, be excited. So all those things that we all say, the world is, coming to an end. Oh, the world is bad. Security, insecurity, and everything will remain. How long do you want to shield your children? How long do you want? Yes, Ruth Baba, it's on the increase, and it's going to increase. It's going to increase. If you read the scriptures, you're going to see that all these things they're trying to cover up, it's going to actually haunt you. And the last one, provide unconditional love. Show affection. Show affection. Express love and affection regularly. Some of you cannot hug your children. Some of you cannot, some of you cannot actually hold your children, praise them, verbally tell them, affirm them. Your children don't feel loved. You think you love them. They don't feel it. I wrote a book, How to Love Your Child More. A 30 ways practical to show your child in a way that you have never imagined. It's a 30 days practicality of how to actually love your child intentionally. I used it. My husband and I used it in our home to actually be able to redefine and refine the process of our love. So it was not in, hey, I love my child. My children know that I love him now. There's a process to everything. So you want to get this book yourself and sit down with it. And then on your way through the book, you might even realize that you do not love your children as you think you do. You only love what they are doing. So that's why you love the child who is performing better than the other one. Because your love is conditional. It's not unconditional. That's the process. as a learning. And a child you don't really love unconditionally battles with self-esteem. Battles with self because knowing that the unconditionally loved creates a secure foundation for them to explore with confidence. So growing up, I wasn't taught. I'm still not taught. I'm saying I wasn't. I'm still not taught, right? And my dad just looks at me and my dad is a hailer. He will hail you. My dad just looks at me and just says, this guy is the kind of women that I like. So I grew up with the mentality of my size is the best size a man will ever want. It's so confident too. As in, I wasn't bothered. I was not. I don't fit all people. Honestly, I don't see you. When I enter anywhere, any day, I show myself. You will know that I'm there. You will know why, because someone actually affirmed my being. Some of you are looking at you today, you think you are fine. You even tell your children something like you think you are fine. But you let it not enter your head. Because that's what they told you when you were growing up. They kept telling you things like you think you are fine. You think you are fine. So that they will tell you so that the beauty will not enter your head. They made a mess of your self-esteem. They made a proper mess. Trust me when I say so. Proper mess. Sometimes I call my dad on the phone. Maybe I share a photo on Facebook and he calls me and says, your husband needs to pay more. My goodness. Is that my daughter? Don't need your affirmation, far. I was solidly affirmed as a child. I'm not looking for any praise anywhere. When you don't affirm your child, when you don't provide unconditional love and support, they will look for it elsewhere. I remember one of those days we were sitting with our daughter, my husband and I, we were on a trip. And she was just going around trying to. I said, why are you seeking attention everywhere, please? She turns to me and says, excuse me, Mom, I'm not seeking attention. I have attention in quantum. I don't need to seek it. Your children it's supposed to actually be so confident on who they are. Their first cheerleader should be you. So if you have been raised and told that you should not assert yourself, that you should not, so that's why it rubs you off wrongly when I say I am a fine girl. It rubs you off wrongly. Why? Because that's not what you know. That's what you know. Somebody got angry. One of those classes that I come and said, so can you see this yellow coach of yours? The person like, what's wrong with that? She's not even fine. You have a problem. Serious one. Somebody has hit a part of you. So when people say those things, right? When people say those things to you, trust me, you're not the problem. They are the problem. Trauma is traumatizing you. Trauma is traumatizing you. So we're not afraid to actually come to say, because we've been affirmed. Affirm your children. Be supportive. Be a supportive present. If you are not present, your children's self-esteem will be eroded. Somebody put up an argument with me on social media the other day. When I was talking about presents, they were like, you people underrate presents. My dad was never around. And yet, he loved us. And he showed in my mind, I wanted to say, give me those years. Can I give you a toast of how you actually, the effect of what happened to you? Most of us lie to ourselves so much that we don't even know anymore who we are. We are living another life. Why? Because we don't want to confront who we are. We don't want to confront who we are. We're afraid. So you will rather go the path of, I turned out okay. You've heard me say it over and over again. The errors of my parents I have counted. My parents are watching me today. My dad is there, my mom is here. The errors of my parents I have counted. The ones they've done well, I have also counted. So that I don't make the mistakes of my parents. There is no generation that do not want a better system in the next generation. You want to hear whether my parents are proud of me and the way I raise my children? Oh, you bet. Imagine if I had stayed there and said to them, oh no, I turned out okay. I would do it the way they've done it. I would have made a mess of my process. I would have. You need to begin to tell yourself the truth. And part of the truth is to tell yourself that you see this yelling that I'm yelling. It's not normal. It is not normal. Stop telling yourself that it's normal to yell. You come on social media and say, there is nobody who can dress a child in the morning without yelling. Who do us like this? Who did this thing to us? Who did this thing to us? Who did it to us? Who? So we are just there telling ourselves, no, it's not possible. Start by dealing with you. The problem is not your child. The problem is you. Normalize nonsense, like we say in the inner circle. You go out and say, no, I must yell in the morning for my children to get prepared. It's not true. They are lying to us. Other people who lie. They lie a lot. What does that mean? I remember one time I shared that our children wake up every morning from grade 4 to prepare food they will take to school. They eat all from grade 4, 5, and 6 before they went to secondary school. Somebody came on that post and said, why can you be lying? And then your children also do well in school. Children have always been early students. I say it anywhere, prove me anywhere. Their secondary school records are there. The primary school, secondary school, everything is there. So all these things that, we all come out, no, it's not possible. No, the fact that you cannot do it or you're not doing it doesn't make it impossible. Open your mind today. Open your mind today. Open your mind. Open your mind. The moment you open your mind, you see possibilities. My dad was a chronic yeller. My father, I'm sure he's watching me. My father yelled so much that when I started yelling, my father was like, what is the problem? Easy. When the seed is coming out of, when the seed is planted, the fruit expands. So right now you're yelling, your body is aching. You're saying, no, that's how they raised us. That's how we are. There's something wrong with it. Stop arguing. Stop struggling. You struggle forever. You do not open up your mind to learn. And the thing I'm talking about is long life. I've learned, working on my emotions for so long life. That's why you say anything to me on social media, it doesn't ruffle me. Worked on myself and my mind so much that my emotions are so together. Did you see how I came out popping? Somebody dragged me yesterday that I said, I'm talking about English because that means that maybe I slept with lecturers to gain my degree. Since I know I didn't sleep with anybody, why am I dragging the person? The person has issues now. I need to go and start proving a point. I came out of my class. I mean, everybody who knows me knows that I came out of my class. So what is the point? There's nothing to prove. Not even to myself. So you need to first of all deal with you. Yes, Mr. Ajo, morning yelling is man-made. We have dumped it for almost a year now. It's man-made. You can stop yelling. You can stop yelling. You can stop all this, and if you find yourself just talking anyhow, just say, that's who I am, that's who I am. There's a problem with you. There is a problem with you. So there's nothing to really prove. You are always proving something. That's why when your child does something outside, you start yelling at the person. I don't understand. Why? Because you want to prove something. Oh, yes. Please don't throw themselves in the mud. You can't drag me. You can't. It's not possible. Because you're not at the same level where I am. So why am I dragging with you? It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to leave you in the mud. Because if I throw myself in the mud, since the person is already a pig and dwells in the mud, I'm going to turn to a pig. But kings, have you ever seen a king fighting in the marketplace? Never, ever. Never, ever. Never happens. So you don't fight in the marketplace for anything. But it comes from a place of growth. It comes from a place of growth. Stop normalizing nonsense. Stop telling yourself, why should even telling me? Why are they even telling me how it is? No, we're telling you so that you can solve your problem today. Solve your problem today. Start by dealing with you. The No Yelling Challenge starts on Monday. Yes. And that's the cost of this month. It's 6,999. These courses are damn cheap. Take it from me anywhere, anytime. And if you're not putting yourself through the process of learning, you are dying. Whether you recognize it or not, you're dying. Whether you know it or not. Oh, they are not. What are they saying? What are they going to teach me? There's a lot for you to learn. There's a lot for you to learn. So much. So start now to begin to build you. And if you're going to raise a confident child, the first place you actually want to be when it comes to raising a confident child is dealing with you. Self-awareness. The more aware of who you have become, the more you'll be able to help your child. If you're constantly yelling at your child, constantly yelling at your child, you are not normal. If your yelling is not once a year, you heard me right. Once a year. Because yelling is like a fire alarm. If your yelling is not once a year, trust me, it is not normal. I mean, you rarely yell. Nobody can really hear you raising your voice and screaming. Why are you screaming everywhere? Why are you screaming everywhere? So it's important for you to begin to think, to begin to look through the process of you being confident. The person said the topic is raising confident child. Yes, that's what we're talking about. You need to be confident yourself. How do you deliver? How do you give what you don't have? How do you give? You can't give what you don't have. You want to come here and you hear 10 tips to help your child be confident. I don't teach like that. I do not teach it. If that is what you're here for, it doesn't exist. Because unfortunately, that process is progress. It will fail you. The how, the tips and the hacks. I don't deliver tips and hacks. I go to the root to fish out what is causing. So we're not doing advocacy, awareness, attention. No. We've moved from there. We actually want transformation. And for you to transform, you must dig it from the root. And you are the root, not your child. Not your child. So we're not here to teach your child. We're here to teach you to take responsibility for you. So yes, the first thing you want to do is to deal with you. Deal with you. Deal with you. Stop all of the, that's how I am. That's who I am. That's what I want to be. And all of that. Stop it. Like they tell the parents in the inner circle, stop it. This fraction of the minute. I can't wait to see parents in the inner circle on Thursday for our weekly webinar. Now, if you've watched me, you've listened to me, and you were hit on a whole lot of levels, it is because there are a lot of things that you need to pick and you need to learn. And there's a lot you need to begin to do, right? There's a lot you need to begin to do. So you need to begin to work on yourself, right? So start working on yourself today. The first thing is join the No Yelling Challenge. The 6999 expires in how many days? In 3 days, yeah. And of course, it goes to the original price, which is 15,000 naira. Please pay now so that you don't have to pay 15. But if you have to pay 15, it's still okay. You cannot attend any of our courses. Our key value system is value. Our key value system is value. So get our books, From Yelling to Calm. This is the book I wrote, How I Moved from Being a Yeller to a Calm Parent. Today, we parent with so much calmness that you'll be wondering, are you really a parent? No, I don't need to yell, kill myself. No. I am not like that. I can't remember the last time, children go to the house, I'm yelling. What's wrong with you? No. It doesn't exist. So From Yelling to Calm is the book we're reading this month in the inner circle. You can pick it up, read it while you register for the Yelling Challenge. The No Yelling Challenge this year is taking a different dimension. And we're chronicling it in another series of how to actually quit yelling in the book. So the No Yelling Challenge is not. So I know that a lot of people have read this book. The No Yelling Challenge is different, totally different. One thing I love about parenting knowledge is how fluid it is, how it changes, right? How it changes. I'm a learner. So every time that you've seen, if you've read my books over the years, you've seen how my books have transcended in the learning, in the expansion, in the way that I think, because I have been learning. All our books on Amazon, every single one of them. All right. You have Walking Your Child Through Puberty, one book that I encourage every parent to get if you are dealing with a child who is at puberty or even before puberty. And then we have sex educate your child like a pro. Volume 1, 2, 3, and volume 4 is coming. I can't wait. Now, sex educate your child like a pro is a challenge we run every year. The challenge and the book. And it's interesting that every single one, sex educate your child like a pro, have been different. It can't be the same. How? Except we are dead now. It cannot be the same. All right. And then we have raising the independent thinking child. The very book that I was speaking about. We have raising the emotionally skilled child. All right. The raising series. And we're having 2 raising series come up this year as well. And I'm currently writing. I'm excited about it. Raising the trophy child, raising the boy you do not need to bail out, and raising the girl who, raising the 100% girl, yeah? All right. And then you have raising the girl who thrives, okay? Then you have resolving sibling rivalry. You have solving primary problems through effective communication, all available. You have the parenting manual. We call it the parenting launch plan. Who told you parenting does not have a manual? It does. It does. It does. All right. And then we have the discipline that works. Discipline that works. Connect to correct. Well, my first 2 books, and these books will put you. In fact, if you ask me which should you start with connect to correct. Move to the discipline that works. All right. And then discipline is not an emergency. I know people have said that this is their favorite. I don't know about being a favorite, but I know that this book is a book you do not want to miss having. If you do not have this copy of this book, you're missing a lot. Because even for you as an adult, it's going to help you. So I've been privileged to write about 14 books and more and counting. We're coming. The goal is to write books everywhere on the surface of the earth, solving parenting problems, writing specifically for parenting issues. That's why we don't write books on how to raise a successful child. They are all general. We speak specifics and then we solve a problem. If you read any of my work and it doesn't transform you instantly, then ask us to return that book to us. We say it confidently. Again, I am that your confident parent coach, very confident. And you will enjoy it if I am your parent coach anytime, any day. All righty. And here we are, the end of this session. Who enjoyed this class? What did you pick from this session? Put a comment in the comment section. Tell me your biggest takeaway from this session. Do not forget, nothing grows except you intentionally put yourself in the process of growth. Join the No Yelling Challenge 6999. That's it, a token. That's less than how much you buy pizza for. Get into that class and begin to learn for it to transform you. I am particularly excited about that class, and I can assure you that you will get into that class, you'll be glad that even if you've attended this class 5 times. I have Coach Omolola, I don't know if she's here, Coach Etima, but they've been in that class year after year. It's never the same. The beauty of the TIP Academy, you get into a class, you take it another time, you'll be thinking, was I in this class last year? So we have even revamped the whole curriculum. You want to be there. It's just a few days to go, and hey, that whole room is buzzing up. You do not want to miss a thing. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yes, and I am very, very grateful. One day, lie or no the bongo to. That's our slogan in the Masterpiece Woman Mentorship. We say lie or no the bongo. I cannot be your mentor. I cannot be your coach, and you just be anyhow. No, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Because how do I stop yelling? Please register for the No Yelling Challenge. Register for it. Register for it. You need confidence to raise a confident child. Thank you so much. Dr. Happiness Swakan is there. Been in the academy for 3 years. Where is Professor Chris Swakan? I don't think he is here. But hey, thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited. See you again Tuesday next week. But the No Yelling Challenge would have started before we see you. So join so that we can see you on Monday. Yep, so that you can learn. Have an amazing day, everyone. Yarders, see you in the yard. See you on Thursday. Rest and escape.